Good morning. It is finally cooler outside my house than inside my house. I don't know the last time that happened, but I got the front door open. It's still early, sun's about to come up. But I got a coffee talk for you guys. This is a good topic. I think it's something a lot of people need to hear about. There's a lot of things tough about horsemanship. This is one of the toughest things I've found in the last few years. It's because we're all getting so full of knowledge and we know all these ways to get horses to do things. And sometimes it's hard to decide which one to use. And so I want to tell you a little story. Back in the day, this is several years ago. This is quite a while ago. I was following Warwick Schiller. And this is kind of when he did his other stuff. I don't know if you were following him. Oh, it's been 5 years ago now. And I was pretty, like I did his clinics. I was pretty heavy into his stuff. I also had bought some Ray Hunt videos. And I also liked Buck Brannaman. And so I was blending a little bit of Buck and Warwick. And that just led to horses running off, getting bucked off. Like, it wasn't good. It wasn't super long ago. Every time after I watched the Ray Hunt video, I got bucked off. Like, the next day, I would watch his video, and the next day I would get bucked off. And I don't know how many years ago that's been. Mark's probably the biggest one that helped me get through that because he connected some important dots. One of the things Ray kind of does or in his videos, like, you get on, you don't pull on them. You just get on and you just go. You go where they go. That's what you do. Yeah, no, not me. Not me. What's the groundwork for? If you're not going to pull on the rope, why even do groundwork? Like, that's what the rope's for. That's why I do the groundwork. Like, when I get up there, I'm going to use what I did on the ground. And I see that advice every now and again on the internet where it's like, don't pull on them when you get on. They don't know what that means. Sure they do. They don't know what you on their back means. That might be scary. But they better know what the rope means. That's why you got on, because you decided they know what the rope means. I can use it up there to stay safe. So it's hard to blend stuff. And so for me right now, the hardest part about horsemanship is all the, what I would consider conflicting information. Like, it doesn't really jive. Like, it's opposite sometimes. So I've got 3 people in my life that I think are very good with horses. Like, I respect all of them. I admire all of them. I've gotten to see a fair bit of at least 2 of them. I'd say all 3, but for sure 2. Like, I've watched them, learned from them, and it's so different. And they're all, in my opinion, successful with horses. Like, really good. That's hard. Like, what do you decide to do? And if you go one guy's method, but then you kind of want to do one part different, you might get bucked off. You know, you go one guy's method, you go a little different. Now that method that was like centered around relaxation, your horse is anxious because you veered off. You said this is taking too long. And so that's something I learned about myself. Like, I don't feel like I'm going fast, but I cannot go as slow as some people. I think I would just quit. Like, I don't think I would do this. Like, it's just, it would be hard for me to go at that speed. And so I have to do what aligns with me, my personality. But, you know, you'll be watching people and they'll put relaxation very first. And my problem is every time you change the situation, it's gone. Out. Like, now what? Now you start over. Like, you hauled out one time and it feels like you're starting over. Like, no, that's just not the foundation I want to build my house on, because it's too emotional and it takes too long. I absolutely want a relaxed, confident horse, but I don't build it the same way as some. Like, I build it through, when I tell you to do something, or I'll say it like this, when I ask you to do something, I need you to do it. Like, once I ask, I'm gonna keep asking until I get it. And that, for me, makes me feel like I can keep my horses safe and myself safe. It's hard to go somewhere with a horse and they think they can take over, do whatever they want. So that's where I start out is they need to do what I ask. Then we're going to do it until you're relaxed. We're going to do it 4, 5, 6 times. When you get a little better, we'll go do something else. So some people, they never want one to buck with a saddle on. I don't really care. I put the saddle on. And I always ask people, you know what I do when they buck with a saddle on? They say, what? I say, watch. I watch them. The first day, and I watched this in a Martin Black video, and I really liked it. Saddle a horse, it'd go to bucking, he's to let it. Bucks around, it stops. He walks in, nicely asks it to move. It bucks half as long. It stops, walks in, nice, half as long. About the 4th time, no buck, just moves out. So why stress over it? Why make a big deal out of it? Like, oh, well, they're going to buck forever. You mess up that first saddle, and it's like, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to buck forever. I mean, they're going to try a lot of things as you train them. And it's your job to be good at teaching them that's not the best idea. I've seen horses, broke horses, years under saddle, something goes awry, they go to buck. I've seen other horses, first saddling, 10 years later, never bucked. They do not buck. And I like flank ropes and all that stuff. I think it's all good to use. Some people go down a path where they try to fix everything before they ever get to it, but you might waste a lot of time on things that never would have broke. They never would have been a problem. So we don't really fix things until we get there. But kind of get back to what I was talking about, you will see all this information and it's all so different. And if you're going to the expos and you're watching the videos and you're watching the YouTubes, sometimes you just got to get away from it. You just got to go work horses. I go through this a lot. I'm in a moment right now. I'm watching a lot of videos, but I'm getting better at maintaining who I am and what I do and just adding little bits in there. I used to learn something and pretty much change my whole program. Learn one thing, start over, do everything different. And then it's like after years of doing that and realizing that don't work, it just ain't gonna. And there's a lot of horse training, that old school, they bite you, whack them on the nose kind of stuff. That works. Like it's not abuse. It works. Like it's as if people don't see how horses correct each other. They kick the way they kick and bite, and they're pretty resilient. And they also understand a lot of things. Now for me, I'm not saying don't ever give them a cookie. I give a lot of treats. Like anymore, this pocket right here, every day's got treats in it, every day. And that's how I help the horse want to do things. I want them to want to do things. I also want them to do it when they don't want to do it. So, I do both, but people are trying to get rid of a lot of things that really work because it hurts their feelings. They feel bad because you firmed up on your horse. And then it's like, well, the biggest thing we do, so we do pretty well at the shows. And I think the biggest thing we do is at home, we put our horses in a lot of difficult situations and we reward with really good timing. And that's just, a horse starts to understand. And so when home is tougher than the show, you do better at the show. The people we see struggle, they make home really easy. And that horse loves them and it does everything they want. And then they take them to a show. Sometimes that horse has like resentment towards them. Like, how could you do this to me? This is hard. This is stressful. Other times the horse is just so stressed it doesn't even notice them. It's like looking at everything. And it's like, you got to fix that at home. You can't, you're not going to firm up at a new place very often and it get better if you didn't already firm up at home. And there's things we've learned over the years, like you show up in a new place and your horse is worried, put him in the stall, go to lunch, leave him, tie him up in the stall. Like trying to get your horse better at a show when they're freaked out, that's like trying to reason with a drunk person. Don't do you no good. You're just going to get in a fight. So when you guys are out there trying to filter through all this information, don't lose yourself. Don't lose those pieces that work for you. add in little bits, see if it works. If it don't work, see if you can get with that person and say, can you show me what you do with my horse? Like, I want to see it. Because sometimes we're just doing it wrong, and we're just, but be careful who you follow. The one biggest thing I recommend to people, find someone you think you align with, and you like their results. If you want to do Liberty in a round pen only, find someone that you love that does Liberty in a round pen only. If you want to go out in a field and the person you follow you've never seen do Liberty in a field, there's a reason they can't do Liberty in a field probably. That you just got to look at those little things and say, who do I want to be? And then try to learn from that person. And I'm not saying you can't listen to all the others, just be really careful, trying to blend. One thing I've told people is, like, you can look at all these different foods, ketchup, mayonnaise, ham, cheese, peanut butter, jelly, and we like them in certain mixes. But when you make a ham, peanut butter, jelly, mayonnaise, mustard sandwich, they ain't no good. Ain't nobody gonna eat that. You start blending all your foods in a blender. We all like smoothies, but there's certain foods, if you put them all in a blender, you ain't gonna be able to eat it or drink it. So keep that in mind when you're trying to mix this horsemanship. Like, maybe those things go together, but not with this other thing. Maybe not at this time. Maybe not at this temperature. There's something. Look, I don't like warm mayonnaise. Grosses me out. So that's something you got to consider, and it's not going to make sense to your horse when you're trying to blend all this stuff, and that's when you might need help. You say, I want to bring this in, have someone help you bring that in, and they might be able to tell you, look, that does not work with, you want to show Western Pleasure, AQHA at the World Show, and you want to run barrels all year. Like, this ain't gonna jive here. Like, that's cool. You got one horse, you want to do 12 events. Don't expect them to be very good. They're only going to be good at so many things. So I know I went off on several different paths there, but I hope that helps. I hope you guys understand. You have to be careful what you listen to and use. It will not all work for you, and there's a lot of it that conflicts, and they both work. Both of these things work. They don't work together. Keep that in mind. And so you don't have to use every video on the internet about horse training. It might not work for you. So hope that helps, and we'll see you guys next time.